In 1992, BMW built an engine so revolutionary it redefined supercars, so secretive even McLaren engineers weren't allowed in BMW's engine bay, and so powerful it crushed Ferrari and Lamborghini overnight. This is the story of the S70/2 V12, the engine that BMW created for McLaren but almost kept for themselves. In the early 1990s, the supercar world was stagnant. Ferrari's 512 TR was aging, Lamborghini's Diablo was unreliable, and everyone was playing it safe. But McLaren had a vision, a no-compromise supercar that would make everything else obsolete. They just needed one thing, an engine that didn't exist. The S70/2 wasn't just another V12. It was an engineering masterpiece built for one purpose: to power the fastest production car ever made. It shattered expectations, rewrote the rules of naturally aspirated power, and created a partnership that would change both companies forever. But then, just as the F1 was conquering racetracks worldwide, BMW walked away. Why did Munich abandon one of their greatest engineering achievements? Stay tuned, because today we're uncovering the untold story of BMW's secret V12, the collaboration that almost became something much bigger. By 1988, Gordon Murray had a problem. His McLaren F1 project needed a V12 that simply didn't exist. It had to be naturally aspirated, compact, lightweight, and produce at least 550 horsepower. Every manufacturer he approached said it was impossible. Honda refused. They were focused on Formula One. Lamborghini wanted too much control. Ferrari wouldn't even return their calls. Murray was running out of options when BMW's motorsport division made him an offer he couldn't refuse. Enter Paul Rochet, BMW's legendary engine designer and the mastermind behind their Formula One power plants. When BMW M Division Chief Jochen Neerpasch heard about McLaren's requirements, he saw an opportunity to create something extraordinary. The S70/2 project began in 1990 under the strictest secrecy. The project would remain secret until 2010, with BMW engineers working behind locked doors at their Munich facility. What they created was revolutionary. At 461 kilowatts, 618 horsepower, 627 brusques, and 266 kilograms, 586 pounds, the BMW engine ended up 14% more powerful and 16 kilograms, 35 pounds, heavier than Gordon Murray's original specifications. But the numbers only told part of the story. The S70/2 featured an aluminum alloy block, titanium connecting rods, and BMW's then experimental variable valve timing system. It was a 6.1-liter masterpiece that revved to 7,500 RPM, unheard of for a road car V12 in 1992. What if BMW had kept this engine for themselves? Would the M8 have been born a decade early? But here's where the story gets interesting. BMW built a secret M5 wagon with the S70/2 engine, creating an outrageous 627 horsepower family hauler that was hidden away in their prototype garage. McLaren engineer, anonymous, BMW's test drivers would show up at the Woking facility in this innocent-looking 5 Series wagon. Then they'd fire it up, and it sounded like a Formula One car. We knew they were hiding something special under that hood. The wagon wasn't alone. BMW also stuffed the S70/2 into an early X5 prototype, creating the X5 Le Mans concept. Yes, it has the McLaren's BMW-sourced V12 under the hood. It sounds like an F1 car, and it's an SUV. When the McLaren F1 debuted in 1993, it didn't just set records, it obliterated them. 240.1 miles per hour top speed, 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds. It was the fastest production car in the world, and it held that title for over a decade. The S70/2's naturally aspirated power delivery was intoxicating. Unlike turbocharged supercars of the era, the BMW V12 delivered linear, progressive power that made the F1 not just fast, but drivable. Gordon Murray, McLaren F1 designer. Paul Roche's team didn't just give us an engine, they gave us the heart of the F1. Every time you heard that V12 scream to 7,500 RPM, you knew you were experiencing automotive perfection. But BMW's ambitions extended beyond just supplying McLaren. Internal documents from 1994 reveal BMW was considering a complete takeover of McLaren's road car division. The plan? Create BMW's own supercar division using McLaren's expertise and their own S70/2 technology. BMW Insider, name withheld. The board was split. Half wanted to buy McLaren outright and create BMW supercars. The other half thought it would dilute the brand. Politics killed the deal, not engineering or money. Imagine BMW M supercars powered by the S70/2 in the late 1990s. The automotive landscape would have been completely different. By 1998, the F1's production run was ending, and with it, BMW's involvement in the project. The S70/2 had served its purpose, but BMW made a crucial decision. They wouldn't develop it further for their own cars. Why? Corporate politics. BMW's board feared that a high-performance supercar would overshadow their luxury sedan image. They chose caution over conquest. Paul Rausch, BMW engine designer. The S70/2 was my greatest achievement, but also my biggest regret. We had the technology to make BMW the supercar king, but we chose to stay in our comfort zone. Although BMW never built their own S70/2 powered supercar, the engine's influence lives on. The technology developed for the McLaren project found its way into BMW's later V8s and V10s, including the legendary S85 V10 in the E60 M5. The S70/2 naturally aspirated V12 engine was possibly the single greatest engine in the history of the automobile. It proved that naturally aspirated engines could still dominate in an increasingly turbocharged world. Today, BMW and McLaren are partnering again on future engine technology. Now, the two companies are back together working on engines for the future. But it makes you wonder, what if BMW had kept the S70/2 program alive? Could we have seen BMW supercars in the 2000s? Would Ferrari and Lamborghini have had serious German competition? The S70/2 had the potential to launch BMW into supercar stardom, but corporate conservatism won over engineering brilliance. Today, fewer than 106 McLaren F1s exist worldwide, each powered by Paul Rausch's masterpiece. But somewhere in BMW's secret prototype garage, that S70/2 powered M5 wagon still sits, a reminder of what could have been. Rumor alert. In 2019, BMW Classic reportedly discovered blueprints for an S70/2 powered M8 concept from 1995. The project was codenamed Project Everest, a 650 horsepower grand tourer that never saw daylight. BMW won't comment, but the documents exist. The S70/2 didn't just power the McLaren F1, it powered dreams, broke records, and proved that sometimes the greatest collaborations come from the most unlikely partnerships. What if BMW had been braver? What if the S70/2 had become the foundation of a BMW supercar dynasty? Comment below. Would BMW supercars have changed automotive history? The S70/2 may have been BMW's secret, but its legacy echoes in every naturally aspirated engine that followed. Some engines make power, others make legends.